right, guys, we are here in 2 Minute Drill. My name is Colin. We got Ben, Cole, and Tyler. This is the first episode. We're here to talk about NFL, NCAA, anything that we got going on. You guys, introduce yourselves.
You just did that for us.
That's right, I
Thanks.
did. You've got to talk as well.
Well, me.
All right, Tyler, start us off with the intro, man.
I mean, on today's topics, you already know what we got. We're going to recap some of the games from last week in NCAA. We got OK State and Kansas State, Oklahoma versus Auburn, Arkansas versus Texas A&M, Kentucky versus Ole Miss, and obviously, you know we got to cap it off with Bama versus Georgia in the biggest game of the year. Some other hot topics we got is UNLV with NIL disputes, NIL future, where it's going to head, Arch Manning versus Quinn Ewers, and Travis Hunter in the Heisman race. What y'all boys want to start with?
First and foremost, Alabama needs to win every game that they've got coming up on the schedule if they want to stay in it, dude.
Bro, you're
Are
crazy.
you?
No, I'm sitting here looking at it, and they've got Tennessee on the road, LSU on the road, Oklahoma on the road, and then Auburn at home. And I don't care what anybody says. Auburn, every time they come to Alabama, the last time, it scares the heck out of me.
They don't.
Colin,
well, since
that's
y'all
common
wanna bring up-
sense.
Bro,
Win your games
I think-
so we
I
can do the
think we-
playoff.
I think Bama has basically punched our ticket. I mean, there's no way. Even if we lose, if we drop 2 games, we still have the best win of the season by far, and probably for
We
the
do,
rest of the
but-
year.
I don't agree.
I doubt that
You don't
we.
think so? Who's got the best win right now?
Bro, if you
Us,
say
but-
that, the way that Kentucky played Georgia, I don't think Georgia's in it this year. I really don't.
I think Georgia drops one more, but I think
They'll lose
even if they
again.
drop one more, they're still going to be in.
Our
Those
best
are-
win this season will probably be Tennessee. If we can win on the road.
I don't know if we can, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, we just beat the number 2 team in the nation.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think we're fired up now.
But were they bro? Was they really the number 2 team in the nation? They weren't that deep. If you look at the first quarter of that game,
Bro,
and tell me
bro,
Carson
bro.
Beck-
But it's cold.
They had a, not counting the SEC championship, they had a 25 straight SEC straight win record, not counting the SEC championship game.
that ain't got nothing to do with now.
I'm just saying. Look,
if
since y'all
you
want to
were
bring
to-
up Auburn, let's go ahead and talk about Oklahoma and Auburn and the situation that Hugh Freeze has going on down in the Plains, because it's
And
atrocious.
he's fired. Just fire him.
Before we start,
Auburn
doing-
fans are.
if
they're-
Hugh
it's-
Freeze would have won that game, Auburn would have given him a 10-year contract and already built a statue of him.
Look, I'm going to ask you this: how hot is the hot seat for Hugh Freeze right now?
Oh, dude, he's out. It's
You
over,
think?
bro.
I
With
think-
a loss
They
to
are terrible.
California. They lost to California at home. They lost to Oklahoma at home. They lost to Arkansas at home. If he loses 3 more games, he's done.
They've had 5 straight home games. 5 straight. You could not ask for a better starting schedule than to have 5 straight home games.
Yeah, and now guess what? They're going on the road against Georgia. They're going on the road against Missouri. They're going on the road against Kentucky, who just almost beat Georgia. Nah, bruh.
They're
Dude,
toast.
Peyton Thorne may be the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my entire life.
I'm not even blaming it on Peyton Thorne. I'm blaming it straight up coaching.
How
Look.
could you not? He's the worst football player I've ever seen.
Okay, but think about this. The first half, he had 2 immaculate throws. On that touchdown pass, it was a one-on-one 50-50 ball on the touchdown pass, on his second touchdown pass, by the way, to Michael Pittman. It was a 50-50 ball on a post route, and he put it right in the breadbasket.
How
I'm
many
not saying
times?
he's the greatest. I'm not
How many
saying
times
he's
did he throw
greatest.
the ball?
I'm saying that. How many times did he throw the ball? He was
Yeah.
21 for 32. So
And
he's
you're
over
telling me he threw 2
50%.
good ones out of that?
Bro.
No,
dude.
21 for 32. He was over 50% with 338 yards passing.
How many-
with 3
how many
touchdowns.
picks? How many picks and bonehead
he only
plays
threw
did he have?
one. Look, I know he's trash, but he only threw 1 pick this game. I'm not blaming Peyton. Thorne.
Only threw 1 pick.
He normally throws. I know he normally throws a bunch, but he only threw 1 pick with 3 touchdowns. That was the best first half that Auburn has played in probably 6 games, including the
So-
last
See,
year.
and okay,
If
but
they
the sad
play-
part
if
is,
they play Georgia on the road, how many picks is he throwing?
Oh, he's
7.
throwing 4 easily.
Dude, if that's the
he's
best,
throwing 4.
I'm absolutely terrified to see them play Georgia. I don't know if I'll physically be able to watch the game.
I mean, you can't put it all on Peyton Thorne because in the second half, especially on that last drive when he threw that pick six, Jarquez Hunter had ran the ball 3 straight times, had gotten over 10 yards.
That's true.
And then they wanted to throw an RPO. Why? Jarquez Hunter, you've got control of the clock. Why would you not put it back in Jarquez Hunter's
Jarquez
hands?
Hunter might be the best player that they've got.
Maybe.
He gotta be.
He's consistent at least. I don't understand why you don't put it back in the running back's hand when you're controlling the clock. You're up by 10 points at the same. So 2 possessions. You're up by 2 possessions at this point. Why not control the clock a little bit more? I understand it was 3rd and 4, but you're across the 50. You're looking at potential four down territory in that instance.
Run it 8 times in a row. Who cares?
And then Hugh Freeze wants to get up there, and his press conference was just he's trying to make up for his first.
I was just about to ask that.
It was terrible.
See the press conference?
I didn't watch it.
He blamed absolutely everything on the players. They asked him, Coach, what could you have done better? Coach, did you prepare? Like any kind of question you could have asked. The first thing he said pretty much was, well, if my quarterback could stop throwing interceptions, or if I had these players that could take care of the ball.
He said that?
That was his first two. That was his first two. That was his first 2 press conferences. This one he tried to suck up, and basically he put all the blame on himself and the coaches. But he first led off with like, "Oh, thank you to our boosters, thank you for the fans." You know, he basically got in there asking for more time. He's like, "Building a program takes time. I'm just asking y'all to give us through the rest of this year, give us next year, this, that, and the other." That's insane to me because the same boosters that hired Brian Harsin also fired Brian Harsin after he went 9-8. Tell me what Hugh Freeze's record is after 2 seasons right now.
I will say though,
his record's 8-10, by the way.
If those boosters can hold out for about 4 or 5 years, the way that they've got it, the whole reason that they didn't go into the portal this year and get a quarterback is because they're so focused on recruiting right now. So they're going to recruit right now for the next 2 years. And then in that 3rd year, they're going to hit the portal heavy and try to add pieces.
But see, how long is an appropriate amount of time for a college rebuild? Like,
see,
that's 3 years.
That's what's scary. Like if you can give Auburn about 2 or 3, maybe 4 years, they're going to be back up again. Because their NIL fund, they're going to try to go crazy in about 2 years after they get done recruiting.
See, but aren't they about to change it to like a salary cap though?
Supposedly, they need to. They've been talking about it, but I think Nick Saban was talking about that the other day.
I think
$20 million a team.
Salary cap to it. It's also good for programs because like you've got coaches nowadays. Each and every year, they're having to go out and recruit, but they're also having to battle keeping the guys that they recruit in there now. I mean, it's honestly like a mini NFL to where now NFL you have contracts and stuff, but this is no holds bar on these kids, on these 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds who come into the program and they don't get the playing time that they want, and so they're like, okay, well, I'm just going to transfer. So now coaches have to fight with that on keeping players in each and every year. And I think if you put a cap on that, if you say you can only make, we'll say $800,000 every 2 years, you'll see players stay for at least 2 seasons at a single program before they transfer.
Well, so it would even it out.
Schools? Are those smaller schools like a South Alabama going to have the exact same salary cap as a university?
That's why you have to make the number. I feel like you have to make the number higher than like legitimately.
I think it's $20 million right now. $20 million for all the way around. So that's tennis, that's chess, that's free. I mean, that's whatever you want it to be. But
say you've got that South Alabama or that Texas State or whoever it might be that just can't afford that $20 million, but all of these bigger schools can still do it.
It wouldn't be like that. It wouldn't be like straight off revenue. I don't think. I think it would be strictly like they all sign a TV deal or they all sign one collective deal, and it would be like.
I see. Like the conference as a whole signs a contract, and
so everybody gets paid the same. So if you're Auburn or if you're Vanderbilt, you're getting paid. You're getting the same amount. It don't matter.
See, I think it should be player based because obviously, like, you're gonna have a Milroe versus, let's say, on the same team, you've got like Cole Adams back at wide receiver. I mean, I'm sure Cole Adams has NIL deals out the wazoo just for being at Bama. I mean, just through Alabama program and whatever. But it probably needs to be player based because, I mean, each player gets they get more of like a representation in a different light than, let's say, if you did it like a whole program wise or whole conference wise.
But if it's player based, you're going to create that like distinction of your best players versus your lowest
players. That's the gray area where that's what makes it hard is because like you're going to have. And I mean, it's basically going to be like a mini NFL with contracts. I mean,
that's what
we've.
I think that's the part that creates the I'm about to just jump ship. Why not? Like when people are getting paid that much difference, I feel like if you squeeze it down to $20 million amongst the whole college, that's every team. I feel like you're all making close to the same. So there's no reason for Jalen Milroe to try and go to Ohio State because he's going to be making the same, if not less, there.
And at the end of the day, too, I'm not a believer in participation trophies. So if you earn that top contract, by all means, go after it. But if you're one of these bottom tier players and you're not looked at as one of those players and you somehow by your sophomore, junior, senior year, you're that guy and you earn that, go for it. But starting out, you may not be making that much. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it just depends. Speaking of mid-tier, bottom tier, I guess we can move on now to Kentucky versus Ole Miss. Everybody always labels Kentucky as that mid-tier, bottom tier, but I mean this week they proved something on the road. So I seen a thing. This was Kentucky's highest road win against an AP ranked opponent since 1977.
I believe it.
Can you tell me who they beat in 1977?
1977 SEC school. No, it wouldn't.
Not an SEC school. Just a road win against a ranked opponent.
I didn't know that. We talked about this yesterday.
I'm just thinking 70s. I'm saying Nebraska.
That's not a bad guess. That's a good guess. So it was actually Penn State. They were ranked number 4, and Kentucky beat them on the road at Penn State 24-20. And Kentucky actually ended up being ranked 6th in the final AP poll that year.
It's probably the best year he's ever had.
Dude, seriously. I'm telling you, Stoops is not a bad coach.
No, I love him.
He has the potential to – I mean, I don't think he's – I mean, they may end up winning an SEC championship, years down the road if he stays. But –
I don't know about all that, bro.
The only thing that scares me
they'll
about –
be good, but they won't win it, bro.
Kentucky always has those key – like going on the road to Ole Miss is a gigantic win, especially this year when Ole Miss has got all those hype around them.
Especially when Ole Miss is ranked 5th. I mean,
exactly. But you got to look at they almost beat Georgia at home, which is massive, but they lost by 25 to South Carolina at home. Like it's like they pick and choose when they want to be good or not, bro. And
that's the classic mid-tier, low-tier team. That's what they do, bro. They play who they're around and that kind of thing.
I don't know. I can't remember their defensive coordinator's name, but I don't know if he's new or not. But I think that after that first game, I don't know if they've swapped some stuff around, but they held Georgia to 14 points, or was it 17 points like that, or something like that?
They held Georgia to 13 points.
Okay, so 13 points.
That's massive. That's a win.
I mean, they scored 34 on us. Now, granted, it was a different situation,
very quickly.
Higher stakes. Now, and obviously, we'll get into that when we talk about Bama and Georgia. But I'm saying Kentucky the Kentucky defense limited Ole Miss to season lows in every category. Now, granted, that was the first real team that Ole Miss had seen, but they only had 353 total yards of offense, and Ole Miss went 1 for 10 on third downs. Kentucky ended up with 7 tackles for loss and 4 sacks. That defense is legit.
That's rough.
When you consider Ole Miss scoring almost 50 points
against a top 5 opponent.
Ole Miss hasn't played anybody since Kentucky, but they've
now that is another factor that you have to look at.
50 points a game, like that offense is legit, and the fact that Kentucky held them to that's impressive. That's a big deal.
It's hard to go in there and play too, bro. Not many people would just go in there and run it like they were. So
no, not at all, especially against Ole Miss in that setting because Lane had them boys ready.
Oh, know it. Lane was feeling himself. he was ready, bro.
Absolutely. I mean,
but if Kentucky's going to be legit or not, they're going to have to win the rest of their games for me to believe in them. Because that loss to South Carolina, And as embarrassing as it was, that shouldn't have happened. So they're going to have to win out for me to be a believer in Kentucky.
Who do they play the next couple games?
It's going to be the SEC schedule. They've got Vanderbilt at home, Florida on the road, which is tough. I don't care what anybody says. As bad as Florida may be record-wise, if you go into the swamp and win, that's good.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Side note, the second loudest stadium that I have ever been in is the Swamp in 2021.
All right, you're going to have to give some backstory.
Yeah, why don't you explain?
Yeah, explain what you mean, why you were in the stadium, that kind of thing.
So I was a manager for the athletic training staff for 3.5 years when I was in college at Bama. And so, like, I didn't travel any my freshman year, but my sophomore year I traveled, junior year I traveled, and senior year I traveled. And one of the loudest environments that we ever played in was Florida in 2021 when Bryce was first starting. And I want to say that Florida was ranked that game. I want to say they were 24th and we were ranked like second or third. And let me tell you, that place was, because it came down to a final 2-minute drive led by Bryce, and I want to say that Mechie scored the game-winning touchdown, and we beat them it was like 24-21 or something like that.
What year was that?
That was 2021.
And I feel like that was back and forth a little bit.
Oh, it was a good game, but that environment is freaking nuts. So the way, I don't know, I mean, obviously, y'all have been to Bryant-Denny Stadium. Our sidelines are like wide away from the actual stands.
Mm-hmm.
Florida's, you've got the sideline,
they're
and
right
you've got
on
the
it,
stands, and
really?
they are on top of you, screaming, cussing, yelling. It was amazing.
Loudest,
it was crazy.
Loudest stadium you've been in.
All right, loudest stadium to this day that I have.
Hold on, let me guess first. Let's guess.
Let's guess.
Yeah, y'all can guess.
I'm gonna guess Texas A&M.
Ben, what do you think?
Texas
That place is crazy. What has it been?
I'm gonna say Texas A&M too.
Texas A&M's crazy.
Didn't y'all play in the Rose Bowl?
I didn't go to the Rose Bowl.
Dang it!
I had to guess it's either going to be Texas A&M or LSU.
I don't know. I'll say Baton Rouge.
Mississippi State with them cowbells.
So Mississippi State Stadium only holds about 60,000. Now the cowbells get loud, but it's not.
It ain't gonna be that.
It's not crazy. It's not anything insane. The loudest stadium to this day. So we actually, when we work the games, we have to wear earpieces because we have to talk back and forth about guys that go down on the field and like what we need to do if they go down or whatever like that. The loudest stadium to where we literally had to take our earpieces out and run up to people to ask like what to do, like what we needed, was Texas A&M when we played at Texas A&M in 2021 when it came down to the last second field goal. The loudest. I'm telling you, it is crazy. It is insane how loud it is.
Did they mark the decibels off that?
You know, they keep a record of it somewhere. I can't find it.
You probably just look it up. But
the third loudest, and you'd be surprised, was actually LSU. It was a night game when we lost in overtime when Jaden Daniels beat us in 2022.
One of the worst games I've ever watched in my life. That game made me so mad. But I knew they were going to go for two. Like, I can't even be mad at it.
Did we not watch that game with you?
Yeah.
Your house? Yeah, I remember it.
When he ran around that corner and scored that 2-point conversion, bro, it was
one of the worst ones.
Brutal.
It was brutal. But also, this is kind of guideline to somewhere else too. But as loud as Texas A&M is, and for Notre Dame to go on the road and beat Texas A&M by 10, bro, that was impressive. Because Texas A&M is a really hard place to play.
And what's crazy is the progression of Connor Wigman throughout the season. Like that first game, I can pull up his stats real quick unless somebody already has them up. But the first game, I think he threw maybe 2 interceptions at home against Notre Dame, and Notre Dame has not been known for their defense since Matt Tateo.
I mean, even then, dude, they were like he was good, but I feel like they weren't great even then.
Well, they had just their schedule that year was padded with.
Well, you know, he had some off the field distractions. So.
Have y'all?
His girlfriend, you know.
Have y'all?
Do you know he knows Tua?
Video of Monte Teo talking about
they're like family or something. They were like cousins. What'd you say?
Have you seen that video of Monte Teo? He was doing an interview and he said that when they were facing Alabama that game, and when they saw Alabama run by, he literally looked at some of his he could tell that
they're scared.
scared, dude.
Yeah.
He had to look behind him, and
He immediately knew that they were not prepared for that game.
But
he
dude,
said
could
at
you
that
imagine?
moment he knew that.
Could you imagine just being some, I don't know, some walk-on guy that just happened to walk out there and you see that come, people just running out? I'd be scared to death.
Yeah, you see
But
C.J. Mosley.
speaking of Connor Wigman, I think I put him in the same category as Peyton Thorne.
Yeah,
I think Wigman's going to be a little bit overall. He's a better passer than I think.
Dude, I think he's a
the
goofball,
progression.
bro. Like you don't know what he's going to do,
Wigman
is what I'm
has
saying.
been a
That's what I
lot
feel
better.
like.
I will say though, ever since Texas A&M hired that head coach from Duke, I cannot remember his name to save my life. I love that coach at Duke, bro. He is like a player's coach. Like I feel like he's legit.
Did he just how long have you been gone?
This is his first year. Like last year, when he was coaching Riley Leonard at Duke. Like he was legit.
He is worse than Peyton Thorne.
Wigman or Riley Leonard?
I think Riley Leonard is. Based off that game we watched at Tyler's that one time, dude. It was one of the worst football games I've seen in my life, bro.
Riley Leonard.
It took him 3 weeks to throw a touchdown pass.
Oh, trust me. I know. Yeah. I had a little bit of a parlay, and all you had to throw was one singular touchdown against Texas A&M. A singular touchdown.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You kept betting it for 3 weeks.
So, look. All right. As far as stats go, Peyton Thorne is the better quarterback. Connor Wigman has 2 touchdowns and 225 passing yards on the season. And I believe Peyton Thorne has 4 touchdowns and about 400 yards passing. So as far as stats go,
Wigman has 225 passing yards on the season?
Yes.
That's it. Abysmal.
That is it.
Ryan Williams has more yards and Ryan Williams has more yards and touchdowns than both of them.
I'm just telling you, as far as QB ratings, QB stats, Peyton Thorne's better. Now I'm not saying that
he does not pass the eye test.
No,
I'll tell you that right
neither one of those passed the eye test. If you want to see true quarterback play, just rewatch the Bama and Georgia game. I mean, that's your 2 freaking quarterbacks.
I agree with that. That whole
I don't know. Carson Bay looked rough for first half, bro.
Yeah, but he
going into halftime, dude. My dad really texted me at halftime and said Kirby is going to make adjustments. Look out in the second half. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So I guess we're talking about the Alabama-Georgia game now, huh?
Well, before we go into that, let's throw it back to Friday Night Football with Miami versus Virginia Tech and that last controversial call.
I love Cam Ward.
Dude, I had money. This is going to make it worse. I had money on the money line for Virginia Tech to win that game.
I don't even know what it was. I don't.
This is personal.
So I think what Miami was favored by what? Was it 10.5 or
Miami was favored by 10.5, and going into that game, for whatever reason, when Virginia is on the road, every couple of years they've got a squad, and this year they were a dark horse to win the ACC, bro. So I knew for a fact that they were going to cover that plus 10, but dude, they should have won that game.
I really look. I think that call is kind of bogus because if you watch it,
he blew it.
It seems
he blew it.
You think so?
I do. I was watching it yesterday, the day before.
Just to me, I mean, and Cole, you can vouch because I mean we played receiver and Ben too. I mean, I feel like he secured it.
Ben was a fullback.
Yeah, but
let's get that clear.
He still caught passes.
Okay. Continue.
I
feel like he secured the catch.
I had the unfortunate to retire in the 9th grade.
Continue on, Tyler.
See that?
What'd you say?
That may be a story for another day.
That's a story for another time.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, my ankles are made of glass, and
my back.
So
the list goes on and on.
So the official ruling was
pulling that out in the first episode is crazy.
Yeah, it is. I was expecting to wait a couple before that one came up, but it's okay.
So look, during the official review, it was noticed that the reason that they overturned the touchdown, so it was called touchdown on the field. it was noticed that the DB who was touching the ball and or ripped it out, his foot was actually out of bounds. Therefore, the ball is declared dead. So that's why they overturned it. But I've got a fun fact. So the same ref crew that called this game, the Miami and Virginia Tech game, was the same that called the Miami versus Duke game back in 2015. So I don't know if y'all remember that. Back in 2015, Miami won on a fluke play to where they received the ball on a kickoff return, and they had to lateral pass the ball like 10 times.
Oh, my gosh, I do remember that. I do remember that.
But if you remember, there were actually 2 forward lateral passes that they missed, and the running back, Mark Walton, his knee was down on one of the lateral passes, and the ref crew missed it. That same ref crew ref that game. They were suspended for 2 games in 2015.
So Miami's got these boys on the payroll.
That's wild. How did they let? Okay, if you get suspended for that,
I'm never gonna say that a ref crew is paid off. I'm never gonna say that a ref crew is cheating a game. I mean, they're human. They're gonna make human mistakes. They're gonna make human calls. But boys, that's sus.
That's 100%.
How do you get suspended from that and then immediately get the ref? Well, immediately it's been 8 years or 7 years, whatever. How did they let them ref a game with them again? Like the same crew. I could see 1 or 2 of them, but the whole crew is kind of ridiculous.
Well, that's just like this year. That's just like this year when Bama played USF at home. We got the same referee crew that called the Tennessee game when we lost at Tennessee in 2021.
I did see that. Literally the exact same crew.
And who's the head coach now at USF? He was the offensive coordinator at Tennessee when we played them.
Exactly.
So I'm just like, and I'm not gonna say like
I would recognize the white hat anywhere.
But those few snippets they're just interesting to think about.
It is odd.
Okay, since we're talking about Virginia Tech, since it did come up, this is like a little question that I've got for y'all. Who has the best entrance in college football? Mine is Virginia Tech. The Enter Sandman, everybody jumping. It's insane, bro. That's hands down my favorite top 3 at least.
I mean, entrances. I was more along the lines thinking of Penn State wideout with Mo Bamba playing in the background. That
is correct. And in NCAA, bro, your controller sticks are jumping when that goes on.
You're a stadium pole.
Seriously, say. You're not calling no audibles. Every line is squiggly. It's over with.
Yeah, you're done for. You're done for if you hear Mo Bamba, you might as well just run the ball.
I also like Clemson's, but I don't think it's on. I don't think entrances wise, it's not on the deck with Virginia Tech.
No, I don't think so. I think Virginia
Clemson,
Tech
Howard Rock, all that.
Dude, I really can't even think of any else. The only other one I can think of is probably USC. Where they have the Trojan and the horse and crap.
Good.
That's pretty sick.
The Florida State with the Seminole and all that, spiking it. That's decent. Virginia Tech, as far as getting the crowd involvement, it's Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I mean that's fun though, dude. Imagine like playing behind that, like getting ready to go out in the game and you see everybody jumping and
I had a buddy that I worked with. He played college ball at Furman, and one of the cupcake games at Virginia Tech, he was quarterback for Furman. He said that they had to go to Vautech for that, and he said, I almost pissed down my leg running out on that field. And I said, is it really that good? He said, dude, it is unlike anything anywhere else. So
see, as a football fan, you would just look around and be like, this is the best thing in the world. Like you would just love it
for what it was.
But if I was playing quarterback and I knew we were finna play them, and I play at Furman,
bro. Done.
Real.
I mean,
is Ben still here?
Yeah.
What's yours, Ben?
What's your favorite?
I can't think of any.
Come on,
what?
Bro.
I can't think of any, Colin.
Okay, all right, bro. Tyler, go ahead, bud.
I can't think of any either. That's the only other ones I could think of. Maybe Michigan. Michigan hitting the blue, the little sign. I thought it's pretty lame, but
that's lame.
That's the only other one I can think of.
Yeah. So stats on Cam Ward. Cam Ward was 23 for 38 and 343 yards passing. 5 total touchdowns responsible for this game.
Heisman conversation.
Dark horse.
All right. So
Heisman.
One word to describe Cam Ward.
So I was looking at a poll.
Athletic.
He looks nice.
So it's not the official
Nonchalant.
Heisman poll.
Nonchalant
But
dreadhead.
one of these, like, I can't remember what poll I was looking at today. They had like 57 total votes. Travis Hunter's won on this poll that I saw. Travis Hunter, and then Jalen Milroe, and then they actually had, what's the dude from Boise State?
The running back.
Ashton Genie.
Yeah,
Dude is a beast.
and then they actually moved Cam Ward down because his first half performance was kind of, but yeah, we can talk about the Heisman race now. So I definitely think Cam Ward is top 5 material. I think he's probably a little bit better than Austin Gentry, just because the day and age that we're in with quarterbacks and how versatile quarterbacks have to be. Like, basically, your offense has to be ran, obviously, through your quarterback, but it has to be built around what kind of quarterback you have.
Correct.
But Travis Hunter, I mean,
It's not even close.
you
The
think
fact-
Bro, I think he's got it
I
in the
love
bag.
Travis Hunter, but I hate Colorado. Like,
I love
Prime,
Jalen.
love Travis Hunter, love the whole situation, bro. But everything that's going on over there is absolutely insane. But if you look at the betting, Vegas knows everything. The betting
sure.
odds for the Heisman, Jalen Milroe is the favorite.
Yeah.
Second is Travis Hunter. Third, Cameron Ward. And fourth is Ashton Genie from Boise State.
Dude, I just think they would be
so-
crazy with the kind of let's just look at it aside from like what we think and our like biases, like football lovers. Look at the story with Travis Hunter and Dion and Shiloh and Shadur and all them.
You could make a movie.
Dion's pretty much replicated himself through his son Travis, and you're crazy if you think they're not going to try and give him a chance to win the Heisman. The way that he's playing, plus that, and the storylines and the money that all will come with all of that.
The storyline and everything that comes off of that would be good for football.
Yeah, dude, and I would be fine with it. I love Jalen. I think Jalen.
Now, do you guys think he goes both ways in the NFL?
That's what I was about to say. At some point, he's got to choose. He can't, like, there's no way you play both sides in the NFL.
And okay, then let's ask this: if he doesn't play both sides, which side do you think he picks and why?
Defense.
Why?
I think defense.
I think receiver
on defense, but I think him as a person would pick.
Okay, well, look.
I think the mechanics at wide receiver too hard.
You put him on the Chiefs and put him in the slot. He's the best playmaker in college football right now. Easy.
While we're talking about
Ryan Williams,
do you realize?
Yeah, but we got chill. We got time though. True, but we got time.
Ryan Williams is like my GOAT from this past. But dude, Travis Hunter, do you realize that a couple of weeks ago when they played Colorado State, he was off the field, not on the field, off the field for a total of 2 snaps.
2 dose.
Bro,
I don't know if y'all realize how hard that is.
People do that in high school, and it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, people will run both ways in high school. This dude is doing it D1 against other D1 athletes.
Against Baylor, against UCF.
One thing I was telling Colin, though, the other day, there's no way that he's going to be able to guard Cooper Kupp.
No.
And then turn around and have to go against
Sauce Gardner or something.
Sauce Gardner, Jalen Ramsey.
He's going to have to pick one. Going
can't.
to in the NFL, you're not going to be able to do it.
He can't guard A.J. Brown on one side and then turn around and have C.J. Gardner-Johnson trying to in his ear 24/7. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not.
I don't know if y'all saw that tweet, but I mean, obviously there was people that's already started this conversation, and Sauce Gardner actually tweeted out. He was like, "Bro, there ain't no way you're going both ways. We're grown men." Basically, is what he was saying in this league. You're not going to go both ways.
And that's crazy for him to say because he an old head. He just got in here, bro. So
now I think he could play defense and then have some sort of flash plays, 10 plays a game on offense, or
like a special package.
I like that, but I would love to see him play slot and then put him in some nickel packages or something and let him kind of roam a little bit. Maybe I just think, bro, he's such a great playmaker. I feel like you have to have him on offense. Like you can't just have him out there punt returning or kick. You need to have him on your offense. Like
if you flip it around though, if you can put his playmaking ability and his eye towards the ball on defense,
like
I agree.
Having wide receiver tendencies as a cornerback, I feel like it's
But
crazy.
then what if you did? I don't think they would ever do this. But say, what if they cut his plays in half where he can play both? So hey, you're gonna play 20 offense, 20 defense, or whatever. I don't really know how many snaps the average NFL game is. I'm sure it's a lot, but
I don't think you can do it, man.
if anybody can, though.
If he does it in the league and he's successful about it, he's gonna go down as one of the greatest athletes.
Oh, dude, he'll be.
We're talking way too early, but if he can successfully do it as a career in the NFL,
yeah,
he's gonna be. I just don't think your body can sustain that.
No, dude, he'll play. He'll play 4 years. I was
about to say, if he did do that, he wouldn't have a long career.
Well, dude, even now, like, bro, he over there getting oxygen. Like, I get it, but you can't.
Homie's dying.
Now
Homie's dying over there.
It's different because the amount of money he's making. Like, bro, like, it's the same thing that we were talking about with Tua the other day. Like, you gotta somewhat decide when enough's enough and like take care of yourself.
Yeah, man. All right. So
we'll get into that when we get into the NFL. We'll get into.
So
I've got
topic
a lot about that.
We're still on the topic of Heisman. So just a little point with Milroe's game that he had the other night. He is on pace right now with the averages of every game. He's on pace to score 30 passing touchdowns, 24 rushing touchdowns with 1,800 passing yards and 900 rushing yards. I think that wins him the Heisman. 54 total touchdowns responsible for.
That's a lot.
With what? What is that? 20?
Half, probably.
20, like 2,700 total yards responsible between passing and rushing. I mean, you got to give it to him.
Dude, the dual threat has been insane.
Well, that's not what Kirby said in the game. He was literally one of the hardest players that you can guard. Like he said, give your credit to Tebow, give your credit to all these other guys, but Jalen's one of the best athletes at like quarterback position we've seen in a long time.
I mean, this is the first true. Go ahead.
How do you think he does in the NFL?
I seen a mock draft the other day where he was mocked to get like, I think, what was it, like top 10?
I've seen 4 to the Raiders.
Honestly, y'all, I think he does better than Bryce is doing.
Well, he's definitely taller, so.
I mean,
better than what Bryce is doing?
Now, the Panthers, that organization is a dumpster fire. I don't think that they did anything in the offseason to help Bryce.
Nothing at all.
I mean, they got some. Now, hear me out. I'm just trying to be the optimist. They added Deontay Johnson, great receiver. They went out and got a first-round receiver. They went and got some linemen. Now, granted, it's only the first year with Brian Callahan. He's the quarterback saver. You got to give him some time. And that owner's too impatient, bro. He's been firing coaches, and firing coaches. He needs to give him some
worst
time.
Owner in the NFL.
He's just impatient, bro. Like now, I get it. You go from having Cam Newton and CMC to Bryce Young and Chuba Hubbard. Like, I'd be upset too.
But the thing is, though, he didn't even own the team when they were there, if I'm not mistaken. Did he?
I'm just talking crap. I don't know.
Did you see that video of him walking into the like little restaurant that they had? They had a restaurant that said like let the GM and let the coaches make the team, and he went in there and like made them take the sign down and pitched a fit about it.
Oh, it's messed up.
We're getting into the NFL. I know we're still on like the NCAA, but he's the worst owner in the NFL.
Yeah. Well, before we go to NFL, I mean, you already know. Yeah. Georgia versus Alabama.
This will be the last NCAA game.
My boy Paul Feinbaum called this the greatest SEC game in 40 years. So it's real.
That's
you know it's real.
Are we really trusting Paul?
Absolutely not. But I'm just telling y'all that little tidbit. All right. So after this game, Alabama has 25 wins against AP poll top 5 opponents since 2007. 25 wins against ranked AP 5 top opponents. The next closest is LSU with how many?
What'd you say Alabama had?
25.
Next closest LSU. You know what's even crazier about that before I answer that question? How many of those wins at LSU was with Saban?
Exactly. Probably.
I'd
have to look that up. But the next closest is that's not a bad guess. The next closest is LSU with 12.
That's close.
We have 13 more ranked wins against AP top 5 opponents than anybody else in the FBS. That's
Dude, we've been extremely lucky and fortunate. Think about since we were kids, that's all we know. Like we don't know any better,
it's
bro.
insane. And I
I
think
remember
I
watching
think
like
DeBoer's just
one
gonna
or
keep it.
two. I remember watching one or two games with Mike Shula when I was younger, but it was before I even knew what was going on. But like as a fan of Alabama my entire life, seeing DeBoer give the press conferences and everything still throws me off.
It does make me feel weird, but I will say he earned it, bro. He's
earning it 100%. I love it. I really at first I was a big fan of us getting Lanning from Oregon, but
me
now
too.
DeBoer is there and he's doing his thing and he's got those boys to buy in, dude.
Yeah.
I think he's the best coach that
you can tell because that first 2 weeks, him getting Ryan Williams to flip back, like to come back, shows you like he knows what the heck he's doing. And so
DeBoer,
he gained the respect for those boys so fast. Like you know that they saw something and gained their respect.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, DeBoer's the man. DeBoer is 13-2 against AP
ranked
opponents.
Winner.
He beat Dan Lanning. He beat Dan Lanning 3 times out of the 3 times he faced him at Washington.
That's
He's
true.
now 1-0 against Kirby Smart. He's 2-0 against Steve Sarkisian. I mean, I would rather have this man than anybody else.
Dude, that's the one I'm worried about. I'm worried about Texas, bro. That's the only Texas, Tennessee. That's it. That's all I want.
But
Texas scares me a lot
because Quinn and Arch, bro.
I'm worried. I'm looking ahead. I know I'm looking ahead. Rat poison, whatever. Tennessee scares me, bro.
Nah, I don't think we got to worry about Tennessee.
They didn't look.
Nico's not as good as everybody's making out.
He coming back down to earth. Like that last game, I guess it was maybe this past week or the week before.
Their offense that they run is insane.
Yeah, but I feel like he's when he gets back down to earth, like I mean, he's gonna be good, but
it's literally the same thing that Heupel tried to do 2 years ago. They're gonna space you out with their receivers. They're gonna go 4 wide and space you out wide and force that nickel back to either play the run or not. And then whether or not the nickel plays the run or he spaces out in space to try to cover the pass, it's literally RPO action the entire night.
That's all that they run. The only thing that hurts you is you have to bring an extra safety down and go zero coverage with one safety over the top. That's the only thing that hurts you because then they can hit you with the vertical pass.
When they had like Jalen Hyde and then like they had some weapons over there, so
yeah.
Some of the formations that Tennessee run in, like both of their wide receivers are lined up like outside of the hashes. Like they're literally stacked on top of each other and they just run like.
I feel like you don't usually do that until you're trying to air it out.
No.
Yeah, they try to space you out. And
the only time you find yourself outside the numbers, or by the numbers, you're getting the ball.
If Alabama plays any team in the country the way that we played the first 2 quarters, we beat.
I agree. If
we play the way we played the first half, we will kill anybody in the country.
That was the most dominant first half of football that Alabama has played since the 2008 blackout game in Athens.
That's true. That's
when we were going to a funeral, as they claimed it.
Literally.
So last time they were black,
because I don't know if y'all remember. I think we scored 28 on them boys in the first half at Athens.
Them boys were pissed off. They said before the game that we were on our way to our own funeral, and we went in and clapped them boys. Same way we did USC in the game opener, and we beat them 3.
First half stats. Bama had 355 yards of offense versus UGA had 153 yards of offense. That's the lowest they've been. I want to say that's the lowest first half offensive execution they've had in like 2 years. I want to say is what I saw. I can't remember the exact game, but we had 39 plays to their 28. So we won the time of possession clock in the first half. We won it outright anyway. We had like 32 minutes of possession. They only had 28 minutes. But Milroe had 3 touchdowns in the first half, 1 pass, 2 rushing. Beck had 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 1 fumble in the first half. That is the worst I have ever seen Carson Beck perform.
It scares me though the way that them boys came out the second half. Alabama couldn't do anything to stop them in the second half, and we couldn't move anything on offense.
But dude, you gotta think, just because the first half was the way that it was does not mean that Georgia's not the number 2 team in the nation. Like they are good. Like it ain't like
I think that the AP poll got it right.
Yeah,
I think that the AP poll got it right by putting them at 5 this week because they're still a top 5 team. I mean, there's nobody
that's what
else.
I'm saying. Like just because
nobody else is gonna play them as good as they did.
Yeah.
So, Colin, you said the second half we couldn't get anything moving. So, and I know this wasn't you or anything, but I'm hearing a lot of Bama fans like they're pissed off about how we played the second half, this, that, and the other, and I'm just like, shut up, because you have to think about it. You're up 30-7.
Are you mad?
You no, well, kinda, because like, I mean, they're just like us. We're.
But I understand. If we're coming out in the third quarter and we're up 30-7, we're not going to be playing the same way we were in the first quarter.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. You have to go into conservative mode because Georgia has nothing to lose, and you got to think about it from a logistics standpoint. You're down 23. You have to go for it on fourth down every time. So that gives Georgia an extra down of football every 10-yard series. Mike Bobo just opened up the playbook because you can throw the ball deep on second down and you still have 2 downs to go get a first down.
Well, that's why they were getting
so many long. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why you get so many long shots like that in the second half to where Bama, you have to play conservative. You only got 3 downs to get a first, and then you have to punt to try to get offsetting field position to make them drive the field.
Well, dude, when they have 4 plays to score or 4 plays to go, like you're playing Madden out there, dude. You're just like
that's what I'm saying.
Hoping for the best,
That's what sucks.
That's a lot.
That's what sucks about blitzing in the second half. Which I still don't agree with. I don't know why we slacked off on the blitzing, but
I was about to.
There's got to be a reason.
We ran our base 4-2-5 nickel, and we were still getting stops on the run, but like we just see. This just proves to you what happens when you take pressure off of a skill level quarterback like Carson Beck. When you take the pressure off him and you drop 7 into coverage, and their O line starts picking up on stunts and stuff on the D line. Somebody's going to come open and you're going to move the ball. But I understand why you have to do that as a coach. You have to play conservative because they can do anything they want with 4 plays.
Yeah.
What drove me crazy too is when we're talking about playing conservative, when we got to that fourth quarter and Alabama refused to run the ball and they were throwing the ball, they were hiking the ball with 20-25 seconds left on the play clock.
That's another thing.
That was so frustrating.
Dude, you got to think how they've been playing the whole game. They put, if you play like that in the first half and you put that many points up, why would you not go back to it? So even if you're I get you should snap it like 8-7 seconds left,
5 or 4.
We're receivers at heart, so like we love that. Like I'm like throw the ball.
No doubt.
But
I think I'm more offensive minded now to where. If you go back, that series, there was like 6 minutes and 30 seconds left. We had gotten the ball. They had not scored to go ahead yet. Like the score was still, 34-28 or 23 or something.
They were still down by like 5 or 6, yeah.
Yes. So with 6 minutes left and you're snapping the ball at 25 and 20 seconds, you're essentially giving them another timeout with the new incorporated 2-minute timeout.
Exactly.
Whereas if you bleed clock and run the ball, you're going to run off an extra minute of just play clock every 3 snaps. So let's say you run the ball 3 times, get the first down. Well, that's 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. That's 60 seconds right there in one series that you're bleeding off the play clock. So if you run the ball 3 times and get the first, you do that 3 times, it's a different ball game. They're going to call different play calls based off the scenario that they're in with 3 minutes left versus when they got the ball back with 5 minutes and 45 seconds left. It's just small stuff like that makes up for like a difference. Obviously, it didn't matter because
what's also scary though is I was thinking about this too because I was complaining about the exact same thing. We should have ran the clock off. But if we would have ran that clock off, our last drive where Ryan Williams made that insane play, would that have changed what we called? Would that have been the final drive of the game? Would they have called that play to Ryan Williams? You know what I mean? So like obviously everything happens for a reason. If we would have bled
Well,
the
it
clock,
depends because based on what the score was, they would still be down.
you are correct. Yeah.
But
So-
we can go if and buts. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
is
look,
what
we
it
can
is.
do the hypotheticals.
Matter of
We can
fact,
do
Alabama won the game. Ryan
no,
Williams
no,
is a Heisman
not even
Trophy
that.
winner.
Matter of fact, we have a 17-year-old man on our team. A 17-year-old can't even vote.
Old
Can't
is-
even. 17. I'm going to keep saying that for the rest of the night. He is 17 years old. 17 freaking years old. All right. So, with that being said, Ryan Williams should be in the Heisman conversation as well for a receiver. Don't at me on that.
I love Ryan Williams to death.
I think he'll maybe one day.
Did you see that Jalen Milroe interview where he said that Ryan Williams came in the offseason before he even played anything to do with Alabama, before he played a snap? He said, I want on the exact same offseason program as Devontae Smith.
Yeah, I seen that.
And Jalen Milroe literally was like, okay, this dude's for real. Like, this dude's going to be the guy.
The year that he won the Heisman specifically.
So,
Yeah.
when y'all think of like freshman great wide receivers, I mean, obviously, who do y'all think of at Alabama? Like at Alabama,
My first one is Devontae Smith.
Yeah, but I'm looking for
Julio.
All right, Julio's
Well, yeah,
one.
you could
And
argue
Amari.
Julio
So-
was Saban's first, you know.
So
He's the one
guy.
that laid the groundwork, bro.
Yeah.
here is an outlook for our friend down here in Tuscaloosa, Mr. Ryan Williams. So Julio played 14 games his freshman year. He compiled 924 yards receiving with only 4 touchdowns as a freshman, and was
He was
yes.
like that though, dude. He would get a lot of
Yes.
yards. He wouldn't really
Yes.
get a bunch of touchdowns.
That's
All right, so 2012, Amari Cooper played 14 games. He compiled 1,000 receiving yards with 11 touchdowns. My friend Ryan Williams has only been at Alabama for half a year. He's only been in school for 1 semester, and he's played 4 games and has already almost compiled 500 yards receiving with 5 touchdowns. Only off of 16 receptions.
So what you're
What's
telling me
his
is he's on pace for about 1,500 yards.
He's
And
well.
15 touchdowns.
He might, honestly.
If he kept doing it.
If he keeps doing what he's doing, he's on pace for about 1,250 yards receiving and about 20 touchdowns.
He's so good, dude.
I mean, greatest
That
freshman
final-
running back of all time.
Wide receiver.
Wide receiver.
Yeah, greatest
Dude.
freshman wide receiver. Greatest freshman.
That last touchdown play where he put his legs down, like after he caught the ball, that's one of the most athletic plays I've ever seen.
A dead leg spin move.
Never seen it.
Bro, I don't
After he
think
caught the
people.
ball. People
I don't
don't
think-
get it, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think people realize, like, and Cole, I think we were talking about this earlier, just how athletic you have to be to contort your body the way he did, to make the back shoulder catch, to focus in with 100,000 screaming fans and all the lights flashing to catch that, have your toes step in, do a ballerina twirl, not once, twice,
Go dead.
and then
Two
then
DBs.
then run past 2 DBs, and in the midst of all that, at the 3-yard line, take your mouthpiece out because you know you're about to celebrate.
Yeah.
How many times did you guys watch that play over?
About
I
8 or
watched it
9.
about 15, 20 times. I'm not going to lie.
I think I only watched it once because after the first time I had a heart attack, I passed out.
That was one of the greatest athletic.
Taylor did CPR on you in the
Great
the
game.
house.
Dude, I'm not even
Such-
joking. She probably had to because that was insane. But I mean, that's all I got for NCAA. Y'all want to move on to NFL real quick?
Well, first, we got to do our pick'ems for the NCAA before we move on to NFL. Cole, do you
yeah.
got our pick'ems?
Mm-mm.
All right,
Uh,
but
Maybe,
The big game,
maybe
I know,
next week.
so like the big games.
What
for
do you
next
contribute,
week-
man?
we gotta keep a record of them too, so we can see how we do next week. But let's move into our
So-
pick'ems for next week.
What did you say?
I've got
Your
6.
eyes-
We can do the 6 games that I've got right here. We can do these.
Hold on.
So
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
you've got
Okay, here we
You
go.
got Clemson. You got Clemson versus FSU. Mizzou at Texas A&M. Boston College versus Vanderbilt. Bama at Vandy. Pitt at UNC.
Wait, hold on. You said Vanderbilt twice right there.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, next-
Boston College at Virginia.
Next
Okay,
week, let's come with a graphic so we can see them.
Bama at Vandy. Pittsburgh at North Carolina.
Pitt.
And then Tennessee at Arkansas. I think when I was looking through the games, these are like the biggest like ranked sort of.
Yeah, this week's
games
kind of
and just-
iffy up in the air.
It's kind of like an iffy week. But now the October 12th slate, that'll be a good one.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, it will.
All right, Cole.
So are we gonna keep up with these? Like there needs to be a punishment.
I'm gonna
I want to create like a record week to week.
Yeah.
Who's got the best pick'ems?
All right,
Okay.
let me write
Okay,
out
before we do it though, we've got to decide: are we just doing it based off of who's going to win the game? Or are we doing it based off who's going to cover the spread? What are we talking about?
I say just based off who's gonna win the game.
Okay.
That's gonna be the easiest to keep a tab on.
If you add the spread, it's just gonna get hard to count.
All right, Cole. We'll start with you. Who you got between Clemson and FSU?
Clemson by 1 million.
All right, Clemson.
Whoever Florida State's playing, I don't. It doesn't even matter. I bet DJ, I bet he don't even play, dude. He wants to sit out because his finger.
Who you got between Mizzou and Texas A&M?
Last time
hold on. Let's go and do the whole thing first. Let's do the Clemson.
Yeah, let's do it that way. Yeah, I like that.
Ben,
what do you
Clemson
think?
versus FSU.
Clemson.
Colin.
A part of me wants to pick the upset with FSU because they're playing at home.
Please, I'm telling you, based off betting odds, please, Jesus, don't take FSU. They got smacked. They got smacked this week by SMU, 42-14.
That was crazy.
I think
SMU.
Let it happen. Let it happen, Tyler. He's a grown man. He can make his own decisions.
I think that
Look,
Clemson wins the game.
First episode special. If you take FSU and I take Clemson, winner gets $20.
No.
Okay,
I say
exactly.
Loser has to dump ice on them the next week.
I think that
During
Clemson wins the game, but the spread for FSU is plus 14.5, and I think Florida State keeps it somewhat close. I don't think
they don't. No,
I don't.
Bro, Cade Klubnik has actually evolved into what? What?
I already know, dude.
Cade Klubnik has evolved into what Dabo has needed to win games.
I know.
And, FSU ain't got a prayer in this one.
Clemson wins the game, but I'm telling you, I think that because literally if Florida State gets blown out in this game, they will burn old buddy's office to the ground.
Well, dude, he said it himself. When you play a powerhouse like Cal, you just lucky to be in the game.
I think Florida State keeps it. I think Florida State covers the spread, but Clemson will win.
I think it'll literally be by 1 million. I think they'll have to stop the game in the third quarter and just hey guys, I don't want to play anymore.
Wave the white flag around.
They'll just get on the bus at halftime, not even come out.
Florida State has got too much talent to not figure it out at some point.
Bro, they have one of the best defensive lines in the entire country. They had 2 transfers from Georgia. From Georgia.
They have too much talent to not figure it out at some point.
That sounds great, but when you're a bad football team and your coaching's not the best, you're just not great. Yeah. And that's okay.
All right. Cole, Mizzou.
Hold on. Tyler, who was your pick? Did you pick Clemson?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay. I didn't.
You're the only one that picked FSU.
I picked Clemson to win, but I think Florida State will cover.
All right. Mizzou at Texas A&M.
I think Connor Wigman.
Keep in mind now, I think what was Mizzou ranked in this last ranking? 9 or 8?
Missouri is currently ranked 9th, and they are playing at number 25 Texas A&M. They're playing in Texas A&M.
I think. Yeah. I want to say Mizzou, but I think Connor Wigman puts it together. I think they go out and make a statement that they're not. I wouldn't say top 12. I would say top 15. And I think they blow them out.
You think Texas A&M blows out Mizzou?
I do.
Okay.
I like to call it like I see it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Ben?
I say Texas A&M.
Okay. All right. Colin?
The way that I've been looking at this, Missouri has played the last 2 home games Missouri's played has been against number 24 Boston College and Vanderbilt, and those games were decided by 6 or less points.
Yep.
Now they're going on the road to Texas A&M, bro. Like, I don't think Missouri is as good as what people think that they are. Like, I really think Texas A&M might kill them. So I'm taking A&M at home.
It's just hard to count them.
Reasoning.
It's hard to count them out, man. They're like Auburn.
It is, and part of me, just because of Drew Lock, wants to pick Mizzou. But like you said, Colin, past 2 games for them have been decided between 6. I mean, they struggled against Vandy. I mean, come on now. Now I get it. Vandy, look, I'm telling you, Vandy's on the uphill slope. I'm telling you, they're gonna get it together, but it's got to be Texas A&M outright. I mean,
dude, I hate Vandy, bro.
they need to go to like the ACC or the Big 12.
Dude, all I can think about is that one video of that lineman talking about, yeah, we want Bama.
Yeah, Bama.
We're not scared. We want Bama.
That's exactly what he said.
We're coming to town, or whatever he said.
No, he said, y'all are coming into our house.
Oh, he didn't say that. Okay, cool.
All right, so Boston
I want
College.
y'all to notice too, as of right now, we all have the same picks. So that's kind of scary.
We're only 2 games in. Also,
You're right.
Yeah, cool.
All right, so Boston College at Virginia.
Cole.
Virginia? You said Virginia or Virginia Tech?
Just Virginia.
I think Boston College. I think Bill O'Brien just figuring it out over there. I don't know what he's putting in the water, bro, but
on the road,
why not?
Ben,
you either know it or you don't, man.
Yeah, Ben, what you got?
Don't overthink it.
I was gonna say Boston College, but I don't want every pick to match Cole.
Bro, we're only 3. There's like 10 games. I pick Virginia.
Out of all of these teams that I've been looking at, bro, Boston College, their best win of the season was against Michigan State or FSU, depending on what you've got listed. They lost to Missouri by 6 at Missouri. Virginia has not played anybody yet besides Maryland, and that
they got smacked 27-13.
I think Bill O'Brien gets it done on the road.
So Ben, you said Virginia?
I did.
And the spread on that is basically a pick 'em. It's a +1, -1, so it's basically whoever you think will win. I'm giving it to Boston College. Yeah, I think Bill O'Brien figures it out. Plus, I like the quarterback better.
Tyler?
Oh, Castellanos or whatever at Boston College.
I like him better. I like him better than old buddy at Virginia.
I think I'm going to go with Ben here. I think I'm going to give him home field advantage since it is a throw me up. I think that those are 2 teams that are like that mid-tier in the ACC. And I know Wake Forest isn't really like dominant in the ACC, but I know that they beat Wake Forest by 1 point, and it's going to be close. And I think that Virginia wins it by a field goal.
Yeah. If Boston College keeps going like they're going, bro, they're going to have a solid chance at the ACC championship this year.
They might.
Which would be crazy.
It would be. It'd be wild.
They play I think Georgia Tech's going to be in it.
Georgia Tech's one of those sleeper teams that I like a lot.
I just watching them play FSU, but
all right, what's next, Tyler? What you got?
Bama at Vandy.
Bama. What are you talking about?
Okay. We're not picking the pick'ems on this one. Let's take the spread on it. Everybody knows Alabama's going to win.
Cover.
Hold up now. Time out.
No.
Don't you go around saying that and bringing that rat poison out to the world.
Bro, if Alabama
everybody thought we would dominate USF the second time we faced them, and look what happened. It was 14-13 going into the fourth quarter.
In the game ended
USF
41-14.
You doing karate?
Yeah, if Vanderbilt wins this game, I will shave my head.
Please.
Vanderbilt, there is absolutely no shot that the redheaded stepchild beats Alabama, bro. No shot.
Look,
Don't
I'm not saying
underestimate the
they're gonna
redheaded
win, but
stepchild.
don't count these boys out.
The spread right now for that game, I'm pretty sure is like minus 23.5. And if it was minus 48.5, I would still take it.
Did you see where the
Jeez.
staff, Kalen DeBoer and the staff were putting out rat traps?
Mouse traps, yeah, or rat
That's
traps,
hilarious.
yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Alabama's going to win, and Alabama's
We
going
don't
to
want no rat poison. He took
They're
that one
going
from
to
Coach.
cover. The over for this game is at 55 for collect. I think Alabama alone might score 63 points this game.
Holy cow! You think?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I really do.
Depends on how we come out. All right, hurry. Come on.
All right. Pitt at UNC.
This is interesting.
Yeah, this one one of those tough ones.
Dude,
but
UNC
I think
I've only watched some of the UNC play. I don't know what's going on, but they look abysmal. I don't know if Pitt even has enough, but I just can't pick. I'm not confident enough in North Carolina to be able to pick them. If this is basketball, I would, it'd be a different story, but I can't.
Ben, what you got?
I'm gonna go Pitt.
Yeah. UNC
They just look so bad.
For the last however many years, North Carolina's offense is so used to putting up like 40, 50 points. Bro, like I don't know what Mac Brown's got going on there, dude, but he don't have the talent this year. I think Pitt might beat them and beat them by a lot.
See,
They let James Madison put up 7. I don't know. James Madison's actually like really good. Like,
yeah, but there's not a world that exists where they should be competing with him.
James Madison put up 70 points against them. 70.
I'm gonna go UNC. I'm gonna go UNC. Home field advantage. They lost on the road to Duke. They lost. Now I get it. They lost at home to James Madison. They scored 70 on them boys, but I think Mac Brown gets it done this week against Pitt.
Do you know that
gut feeling?
Mac Brown is now the oldest coach in FBS by a lot, pretty much since Saban retired?
Yeah. All right, next one. Last one, too. Tennessee at Arkansas.
I feel Tennessee in a close one. I think Nico
this year.
I think Nico struggles.
It's definitely.
I think they play fast, but I think Nico struggles a little bit. 2 picks, that kind of game.
Yeah.
I think
Arkansas is not terrible.
No, they're not. They're
not great, but I mean, I think they give them all they want.
Ben?
I'm going to go Tennessee.
Dude, I really, really like Arkansas this year.
Their losses wants to pick them so bad because of Taylor Green, but
their losses this year, both of them, they lost to Oklahoma State, but they took them boys to double overtime on the road. They lost to Texas A&M at Texas A&M by 4. I think Arkansas might give it to them this game. I think Tennessee wins. My pick's going to be Tennessee, but I think Arkansas covers.
Yeah.
I think it's only by a field goal.
Hey, don't be scared, man. Pick them.
I don't think Arkansas can hang because Tennessee's a fourth quarter team. Like they're going to come out and they're going to be still airing that thing out. I think Tennessee wins, but Arkansas is going to keep it close.
Yeah, I think it's Tennessee by 1 score.
Yeah, for sure.
So, well, that's all the pick'ems, boys.
Well, what are we looking at next?
I've got the NFL stuff on there. Do y'all just want to do the NFL pick'ems, or do y'all want to go through the whole NFL slate?
We can. We are about an hour in, though. So
yeah, let's do the.
We're not even halfway through, so
let's go through. We'll do it better next time about divvying up our time. We went kind of crazy.
We can edit.
Let's go through and we'll do our NFL pick'ems. And then we'll dive deeper into the fantasy football because we're all in a fantasy football league together, and this is our 10th year, so it's a big freaking deal.
Big one. We've had some big destructive things happen.
So we'll go into that hardcore next week, but we'll just go into the pick'ems hardcore this week for the NFL, then we'll kind of wrap it up.
Yeah. Cool.
Um, First one that we've got is kind of a big one.
Ben, is your ceiling falling apart? Well, I'm just playing. Didn't you buy this for me?
What brand is that?
That's the same brand that you bought at Dollar General.
Show us the brand.
Show me your roof.
Hold on. Let's calm it down now. Ain't no sense in sitting here cracking on each other's roofs.
That's hilarious.
And for the people that listen to this, they don't know that me and Ben are brothers. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're twins.
Yeah,
actually.
They don't know. I just seen a little extra crack in your roof, bro. I'm trying to look out for you. I know it's been raining. Hurricane Helene been, it's been a little crazy. So
yeah, man.
Checking on you.
That was
first NFL pick'ems that we got. The Buffalo Bills are traveling to the Houston Texans. Both teams are 3-1. The spread is Buffalo -1. Who do y'all got?
no shot.
I think it's the Texans in a shootout.
Texans at Buffalo.
Yeah, in a shootout. I think the Bills' offense coming off that rough week. I think they struggled to get it going against a tough Texans defense. And
oh boy, did they struggle! Yeah, Josh Allen with 6 points in fantasy.
Hey! This isn't time to vent.
Josh Allen, a quarterback in fantasy for those wondering. All right, so Cole, you've got the Texans in a shootout. Tyler, what you got?
I've got the Texans, but it's close. It's by a field goal. I think the score is going to be 27-24.
Oh, he took it one step further. He's going for the.
You want to add scores? I'll add score of mine. Hold on. I'll take it back. I think not a shootout, but I think they score some points a little bit. Probably 24-17.
The over under for that game is also 47. I could see both offenses getting it going right here.
Definitely take the over on that.
Ben, what you got? Bills, Texans.
I think the Bills got them.
You think?
At least 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
At least
2 touchdowns.
At least.
Bills.
I mean, the only thing that really worries me about the Bills going on the road is like Kincaid he's pretty good at the tight end position, but they really haven't found that dog receiver that they had in Stephon Diggs. I mean, Keon Coleman, but
right now would be probably Khalil Shakir. He's not Stephon Diggs, but he's filling the. Josh Allen, I was looking at this thing the other day, and it's like Josh Allen is almost free. Like he's not like having to force feed Stephon Diggs. He's out there actually having fun. James Cook
did make a statement about that.
He was not calling out Diggs. That was not a dig. That was not a dig at Diggs. It was not.
He wasn't calling out Diggs, but he was saying that he felt more free without Diggs.
Said he came out he doesn't have to worry anymore about feeding a receiver is pretty much what he was saying.
No, he said it's fun playing with people who don't care about stats. Period.
Exactly.
Who do you think that means?
Bro, that's definitely calling
out Dougie McDermott.
Are you gonna let me talk? Are you gonna let me talk? Or are you just gonna batter me?
We got the clips from last year of Stephon Diggs dogging Josh Allen on the sideline.
Okay, I agree. But I feel like if Josh Allen wanted to call Stephon Diggs out, he would have said his name. You don't think so?
No, not in a press conference. He wouldn't.
Who else?
What's the difference? If he said that, I think he's just saying in general. He came back after the fact and said that. You think they're not cool? They played 8 years together or however long.
Nah, it wasn't 8 years. I don't think they weren't. They were.
Whatever. Go.
All right, Buffalo Bills are going to win on the road, in my opinion. The next game that we got is one that I kind of like. We've got the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers traveling to Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota is 4-0. The Jets are 2-2. But before y'all make y'all speak, they are playing in London. It's not a home game. They're playing in London. Those London games are kind of different. Which ones y'all got? Tyler, go ahead. Lead us off.
Minnesota.
You think Minnesota goes 5-0?
Minnesota is going 5-0.
Okay.
They go 5-0.
They've got something to prove.
Agreed.
Minnesota goes 5-0. Aaron Jones rushes for 3 touchdowns, and they win by 21.
Golly.
I think they beat the crap out of them. I think they do.
All right, Ben, go ahead. What you got?
I'm gonna say the Jets.
Okay.
I think Sam Darnold comes back to earth a little bit. Aaron Rodgers gets it rolling.
That's true.
I was in that exact same way. I'm saying the Jets too because I love Sam. He's played phenomenal these first 4 games. He's played really good defense. Packers defense ain't no slouch. But, dude, those boys on the Jets defense are something serious, and I think they get after him. That D-line's crazy.
I just got an alert that says the Browns are eyeing Devontae Adams.
Just saw that.
Oh, my gosh.
How do you
I've got
feel about
Devontae Adams in our fantasy football league, and he is now on the block if he's going to the Browns. All right, let's move on. That's 2 down. This one I kind of like. The Chicago Bears against the Carolina Panthers at Chicago.
Do I have to pick one?
Yep.
Oh my God.
You think Andy Dalton gets it done against Chicago?
I think the Red Rifle airs it out. I think it airs it out. I think they win.
Chicago defense ain't nothing to play with though.
Still,
their defense is good.
Chicago's defense is
really good.
Well, I think if the Bears do win, it won't be because of Caleb Williams. It'll be because that defense is crazy.
I agree. Tyler, what you got on that one?
Chicago Bears because of my boy Caleb Williams.
Your boy?
I think he throws for 3 touchdowns and 250 yards.
Oof, that's a big one.
Well, back to reality. The world
Carolina Bears. What you got?
I don't know.
Chicago is favored by 3.
I do think if Chicago wins, it'll be because of their defense.
That's how I'm feeling. And it's in Chicago. If it was at Carolina and Caleb Williams was on the road, I'd be leaning that way.
Andy Dalton has looked good, but I think I'm going to go the Bears.
Yeah, I think the Chicago Bears gets it done. Their defensive line and everything's going to eat them alive, I feel like. All right. The Buccaneers, this is primetime game, Thursday night. Falcons and Buccaneers at Atlanta.
Bucks in a shootout.
Okay.
Kirk still doesn't put it together.
Yeah, Kirk's struggling right now.
Kirk is struggling.
The Penix talks start to emerge.
I think.
Would they pay Kirk 130, 180 million? What was it?
It was something egregious, but I don't think Kirk's going to ever get it together. I think that maybe the Penix talk might be legit. It might be time to reassess, especially if they lose this game, which I think they're going to. I think, like Cole said, I think the Bucks are going to win. It's going to be close.
Falcons moved to 2-3, huh?
Is that their record?
The Falcons are 2-2 right now. The Buccaneers are 3-1. They also did just come off a really big win against Philadelphia, which Philadelphia isn't crazy this year, but
they were missing some.
They were. Who you got, Ben?
I think I want to go with the Buccaneers.
Yeah. So we got 3 Buccaneers. I'm taking the Falcons, bro. Primetime Kirk is a living legend. He beat the Philadelphia Eagles in primetime on the road.
That is true, but his stats on primetime games were not great up until that point.
You are correct. I've got.
They were the complete opposite.
That's the one that I'm.
Baker Mayfield has looked like an animal this year.
Yeah, I love Baker Mayfield.
He's made me love him, dude.
All right, this right here is going to be our very last one. It is Monday Night Football. The Chiefs versus the New Orleans Saints at Arrowhead Stadium for the Chiefs. The Chiefs are currently favored by 5 points against the Saints.
I
think the Saints win by a touchdown.
Saints win by a touchdown?
In a daggone dog fight. Low scoring. Penalties everywhere. Kelsey has 7 catches for like 15 yards.
I was about to say, if he has 7 catches, he ain't doing nothing with it if it's like anything.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think it's just gonna be a tough watch. Yeah. Like not appealing to the eye.
Sucked this year, but
That Monday night one last week was good though. But
Tyler, what you got?
I think I got Kansas City at home.
Yeah.
I'm taking them by 5 or 6.
Kansas City's hard to beat at home. They really are.
They are. Their home record, I mean, it's too good.
I just think they have nobody to throw the ball to.
The way I feel like those first 2 weeks where the Saints put up 40, 50 points, and then after that, I feel like the defensive coordinators have got kind of zeroed in on Derek Carr, and they kind of know what that offense is about. But I don't know. What you got, Ben?
I don't know. It's close, man.
You think it's closer than
I
what
think
the
I'm going to say –
I think it is, but that's me.
I'm going to say the Chiefs.
By how
Saints
much?
look good, but I think it's going to be really, really close.
How much you think they win by?
Field goal, maybe. Close.
Mm.
I think I agree with Cole. It's going to be a dogfight, crappy game.
I'm kind of feeling it. I think if it was at New Orleans, I think I might lean towards New Orleans, but Chiefs at home is just a different animal. I think the Chiefs win.
I really don't see the Chiefs moving the ball that well, and the Saints, I think Derek Carr kind of
See,
bit.
The only reason I picked the Saints is just on the sheer fact of, like, the way the offenses looked. Honestly, it's probably looked better than Kansas City's has anyway.
I agree with that. Kansas City's offense is a shambles right now.
And then along with them losing Ross and then Pacheco, like, they're literally a three-legged dog. Like,
Kelsey's going to have to be their target.
They're going to have – Kelsey's going to have to pick it up. City has it. But, dude, that Xavier Worthy is a problem.
Yeah. Just a deep threat, though, man. Like, how it's like it's got to be a perfect situation, perfect play call, like, for him.
This is all going to rely on, I feel like, Kansas City's if Kansas City's defense can stop the Saints' offense, I think the Chiefs win in a close one. But if that Chiefs defense come out and they're not there to play, I think the Saints could easily win by 10 points.
Dude, you look at Kamara and Derek Carr and Olave and Shaheed and even Taysom Hill, like, they're using everybody getting theirs. So it's going to be.
And if the Saints can't stop Kamara, bro, I think the Saints could come out there and kill him. But if the Chiefs defense shows up to play, the Chiefs will win by 3 or 4 points. So
I just don't like
the Chiefs as well.
Offense right now, dude.
I don't either. They've got Mahomes, Kelsey, Worthy, offensive line.
Dolphins. They're in the same boat the Dolphins are for different reasons. It's just should be great. Not my favorite.
Poor Dolphins, man.
They'll try to game plan something up, I'm sure.
That right there is the last NFL pick'ems that we got, gentlemen.
Heard that. We about an hour and a half in.
That's a good first episode. Episode.
We went a lot longer than I thought we would.
Yeah. We covered everything too. We went really, really. We covered a lot more NCAA. Next week we'll go over a little bit more NFL. We'll kind of space our time out a little bit more, but we had a good time anyway.
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
As long as we had fun.
That's all that matters. We'll keep it going. We're going to be back on what? We're going to try to do it again on Monday.
Yeah.
All right, and then on we'll get these posted on Wednesday morning, roughly about 5, 6 o'clock, and that's
Can
it.
You speak up, Colin. I can't hear you.
Yeah, please go into hold.
All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all tuning in and watching us. I hope we have at least one viewer this week. If not, we just had a good time doing it. But anyway, we thank y'all to everybody if y'all watch this. We're gonna keep doing this. Try to do it every week. Just 4 dudes love Jesus. We love football. So yeah, that's what we're about. This podcast is called 2 Minute Drill. Obviously, we go a lot longer than 2 minutes. So we just
in some circumstances.
Anyway, thank y'all for listening.